Most people spend their lives trying to avoid obstacles. They see resistance and turn away. They see difficulty and shrink back. They see challenge and assume something is wrong. We've been conditioned to believe that ease means alignment and resistance means retreat. But what if you've been interpreting obstacles the wrong way? What if the very thing you're trying to escape is the very thing you're meant to walk through? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This wasn't poetic, it was practical. The obstacle in front of you is not an interruption, it is instruction. It is not blocking your path, it is revealing it. Today, we are going to reframe the way you see resistance, because the obstacle is not your enemy, it is your doorway. The Stoics divided life into two categories: what is within your control, what is not. Obstacles often fall into the second category: other people's behavior, market conditions, unexpected setbacks, delays, criticism, loss. You cannot remove many of these, but you can control how you interpret them. Epictetus taught, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." That is not passive acceptance, that is disciplined alignment. The obstacle does not exist to stop you, it exists to test your perception. If you see it as punishment, you shrink. If you see it as training, you grow. The obstacle itself is neutral. Your judgment gives it power. Modern culture teaches comfort, convenience, speed, immediate relief. If something feels uncomfortable, we assume, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this is a sign to quit. Maybe I should wait. But discomfort is often the signal of growth. Seneca wrote, "Fire tests gold. Adversity tests the brave." If you avoid adversity, you avoid refinement. Every breakthrough contains tension. Every transformation contains friction. Every expansion contains uncertainty. Jim Rohn said, "Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better." The obstacle is not demanding retreat. It is demanding elevation. Obstacles are diagnostic. They expose where you lack patience, where you lack discipline, where you lack emotional control, where you lack clarity, where you lack courage. Without resistance, you never discover weakness. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind." Why repeat that? Because the mind resists pressure. The obstacle reveals where you still react, where you still blame, where you still hesitate. That revelation is not shameful, it is useful. The obstacle shows you exactly what needs strengthening. It is feedback. Two people can face the same obstacle. One says, "This is unfair." The other says, "This is training." One becomes bitter, the other becomes better. The difference is perception. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." This is radical responsibility. It means the obstacle does not control your inner state. You decide what it means, and meaning determines motion. If you interpret the obstacle as rejection, you retreat. If you interpret it as refinement, you advance. The doorway only appears once perception shifts. Think about what you've been avoiding: the difficult conversation, the uncomfortable truth, the disciplined habit, the decision, the confrontation with your own inconsistency. Why avoid it? Because it challenges identity. But what you avoid is often the exact work your future requires. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show what men are, and more importantly, they show what they are capable of becoming." The obstacle is not random. It often sits precisely where growth is required. That fear you feel, that hesitation, that tension, that is the doorway. Here is how you practically apply this. 1. Stop arguing with reality. The Stoics practiced voluntary acceptance, not because they liked difficulty, but because resisting reality wastes energy. You cannot move forward while fighting what already is. 2. Ask better questions. Instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What strength is this demanding from me?" 3. Look for leverage inside resistance. Napoleon Hill said, "Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." Seeds grow in soil, and soil is not clean. Growth rarely is. Act deliberately. The obstacle does not dissolve through analysis. It dissolves through disciplined action. Even small movement changes perception. The moment you walk through the obstacle, your identity changes. You become someone who does not retreat at resistance. You become someone who interprets difficulty as training. You become someone who moves forward when others hesitate. Confidence does not come from success alone. It comes from survival through challenge. The obstacle builds self-trust. Every time you face something uncomfortable and walk through it, you teach yourself, I can handle this. That lesson compounds. Soon, you are no longer intimidated by resistance. You expect it, you welcome it, you grow from it. When you stop running from obstacles, you notice something surprising. Anxiety decreases, clarity increases, momentum builds. Why? Because indecision drains energy. Avoidance creates pressure. Resistance amplifies fear, but action dissolves it. The obstacle is heavy when you stare at it. It becomes lighter when you step into it. The doorway was never locked. It was waiting for movement. Your obstacle is not your enemy. It is not a punishment. It is not proof you are failing. It is refinement. It is instruction. It is preparation. The Stoics did not pray for ease. They trained for strength. The obstacle in front of you is not blocking your life. It is reshaping it. Stop asking for a smoother path. Start becoming stronger on the one you have. Because what stands in the way becomes the way. Your obstacle is your doorway. Walk through it.